Hey YouTube, this is Phantom Big Daddy coming to you. What's up? I'm gonna tell you what's up. Squeaking on the rear brakes. Kia Sorento 2014 LE or LX model. I'm gonna show you how to replace the pads. Look at the rotors. The rotors are okay. I can't stop. My thumb can't stop. There's no big grooves or anything. So I'm gonna show you how to replace the pads. Here's the pads right here. Loud squeak. So here's the pads right here that I got over at AutoZone, and I'm going to start out. I took the tire off, of course. I'm going to start out with a 14mm. This will take the caliper off. On these bolts here, you want to make sure that these bolts go into the correct holes. Only because to take the bracket off that holds the caliper is a different screw. These screws have to be really clean and lubricated. This will also cause a lot of issues in screeching. See how this bounces back and forth? It also moves. If these aren't clean and lubricated really well, you can have a problem with the movement on there. So you want to remove it, make sure this is supported really well. Put it up here. Probably bungee cord it, but right now it should be okay. If you want to remove the bracket, there's one screw here right behind this caliper screw, and then where this bar comes in, there's another screw right behind there. You need a closed box socket to get that off. You're not going to completely remove it, but you will be able to loosen it up and pull it out far enough to get this whole bracket out. But we're not going to do that today. We're just going to replace these pads. You're going to need a regular screwdriver. I'm just going to give it a small little pry. I don't want to ruin the caliper. Just work your way back and forth until it comes off. As you can tell, that is pretty worn out. There should be a line going across here. I'll show you when I install the new ones. And you want to do the same thing to the back. Small pry, work your way back and forth until it pops loose. As you can tell, those are pretty thin. I think you want a 2/32 on that, and that is definitely less than 2/32. So now that that's off, what I like to do is I like to keep them the way I take them off. So when I put the new ones on, I know exactly which way they go, including these clips here. You want to pry the new clips off. And what I do again is put it down the same way they go on. So if I have any issues after I clean it all up, I can look down and see how they go, okay? So now that we got the pads off and the clips off, I'm going to use the wire brush and I'm going to clean all this off, make sure these are all cleaned off. I'm going to try my darndest not to get the face or the back of this. It's a shiny, it's no grooves or anything for a reason, so that's the way I like to keep it. But I'm going to try to get all this rust off here and all around here. So I'm doing that, let's go back and forth. Unlike me, you should have a respirator on or some eyeglasses, safety glasses, so you don't get any of this in your eyes. You want this clean from hitting any of this section here. A lot of the rust buildup will hit the bottom of this and the bottom of this, or the clips that you go in, and you're going to hear a lot of squeaking, grinding, all because of small little rust particles. So you want to make sure you clean it really well. Sometimes you can even take a scraper to it and scrape it off. You can tell there's still a lot of good caliper on this, or rotor on this. So I don't need to replace the rotors. Just a lot of surface rust. And you can tell it's moving pretty smooth. And don't forget to get the bracket of the caliper. You want to make sure that's all nice and clean also. again, this is a pretty important thing to do. If you get as much off as possible, then you don't have to worry about squeaking later on. If you don't get a lot of this rust off, maybe 10, 15,000, 20,000 miles further, that rust is going to build up. You're going to have more noise, and your brake pads might be perfectly fine. So the better you scrape them, the longer you'll go without any issues. Okay, so that's all nice and cleaned off. I'm going to remove any of the particles in there. Alrighty, it's nice and clean. So, when you get the premium brake pads, you get the hardware and the lubrication. The lubrication that comes with the brake pads is basically the same lubrication as the green dollar one. If you don't get the premium, you get the gold or the best brake pads, you need to buy this stuff. This will go in between the clip and the pad right here to make sure that there's no squeaking. So what I'm going to do, since the brakes came with it, I'm going to use this. So I'm going to open the pad, open the hardware. And again, by looking at the old ones, how I put them in, I want to make sure that they fit in there correctly. Just like that. Alrighty. And then I'm going to open the lubrication. I'm going to apply the lubrication on there the best I can. Just like that. Then I'm going to take my screwdriver and wipe it all over the place. And then without touching it, I'm going to try to stick them on there nice and secure. And then the same thing with the other side. And I'm going to take a screwdriver and just make sure that it's all over the bracket. Just like that. And then I'm going to clip these in. No noise when I spin it, which is a good thing. Now for the shoes, the pads. You can always tell this is the pad right there, the thickness, probably a 1/2 inch, and the thinness, that's probably very, very old. You can tell which one's the front and back by the clip in the back. this here, this will go on the back of the shoe, the rotor or the caliper, and this will go on the front. They're going to be hard to put on because they're nice and snug, so you might need a pliers or something to make sure that they're on there nicely. You want to go over this bottom bracket and then slide them on. And then you want to do the same thing to the back. Put one side in, then you work your way to the back of the other side. The brand new clip, so it's going to be a little tight, or very tight. There you go. Now take a pair of pliers. Always double check to make sure that they're on right, which they look like they're on pretty good. And now I'm going to put the boot back on, or the caliper back on, but I need to compress this. So there's a couple things I need to do before I can do that. One, I need to take the cap off the brake fluid, the master cylinder it's called. You need to compress this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the old brake pad back on. First I'm going to close this up. I'm going to put the old brake pad back on. Put this in here. And I'm going to turn it and compress that cylinder back in so it's flush. And then I want to make sure, while I do that, that the fluid in the front is going up. Okay. Okay, now that I got the caliper compressed and the caliper back in, what I want to do is I want to clean these really well. As you can tell, they're pretty clean still. But I still want to take a wire brush, just take whatever is off there, if there's anything, and take that to both sides. They are still pretty clean, that's the way you want them. And then there's a purple lubricant there, and that is exactly for these bolts. So what you want to do is cut, well, you know how to cut them off, and make sure they're lubricated really well. So I'm going to probably overdo it. Just like that. All over. And then stick them in. And same thing with the bottom one. This will help keep them clean from all the stuff, rust and the heat. And now tighten them up really tight, or decently tight. And there you go. Once you start your car and get ready to go, you might want to, before you start it, pump the brakes a couple times to make sure that there's fluid back in here and the caliper is nice and tight with those pads, and you should be all set. That's it. And if you like it, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. I'm not a mechanic. I don't expect to be a mechanic or say I'm a mechanic, so if there's any better ways to do it or things I missed, go ahead and put a comment in there and I'll learn just like you. Have a great one. This is Phantom Big Daddy. Talk to you later. Bye.